Hey friends, welcome back to another exciting Discover video. Today we're going to explore all of the kaijus of the Pacific Rim the Black. Pacific Rim the Black is an animated series produced and distributed by Legendary Television Studios and Polygon Pictures in association with Netflix. Pacific Rim the Black follows siblings Hayley and Taylor, who learn to pilot an abandoned Jaeger in a post-apocalyptic Australia overwhelmed by the kaiju. The series was originally greenlit for 2 seasons with a 2020 release before it was pushed back to 2021. We have to say that the series is really good, and we can't wait for Season 2. Season 1 introduces us to new kaijus, which just tickled our curious minds. In this video, we'll be explaining all the kaijus that appeared in the series. Meridian City Kaiju. Meridian's kaiju is a kaiju of unknown category that emerged from a breach in Australia. It quickly engaged Hunter Vertigo, but it's eventually slayed by the Jaeger. Having a reptilian appearance with a bioluminescent glow from its veins, the Meridian's kaiju is a bipedal kaiju with a robust upper body and 3-fingered club-like hands. It can also produce a spike from a hole in its palm, which can be used as a dangerous weapon to stab the target. The kaiju emerges from a breach and attacks the city of Meridian. Locating Hunter Vertigo, the kaiju engages, exchanging punches with the Jaeger. Hunter Vertigo retaliates by firing one of the cryocannons, striking the kaiju and freezing it solid. With its foe frozen, the Jaeger easily rips the spike out and uses it against the kaiju, causing it to fall apart. Acid Quill. Acid Quill is a bipedal kaiju with 7 limbs, 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 tendrils, and a tail. The kaiju's arms are significantly larger and stronger than its legs, and it primarily uses them to support itself, striding on its knuckles. Its legs are still used in combat, but normally hang idle. Acid Quill has 2 tendrils extending from its back, which can pierce the armor of a Jaeger. Its tail is also used in combat and for balance. There were several of these kaijus in the series. Copperhead. Copperhead is a Category 4 kaiju. One of the many kaiju who participated in the attacks on Australia, Copperhead was the kaiju responsible for the destruction of Taylor and Hayley's settlement. It would later engage Atlas Destroyer in both Meridian and Clayton, being killed by the partially destroyed and long-abandoned Hunter Vertigo's final nuke, entering a large chest wound and imploding the kaiju. Copperhead is one of the many kaiju to appear from breaches across Australia. The kaiju earns the nickname Jaeger Breaker from the Pan-Pacific Defense Corps during the attack on Australia, presumably from being responsible for destroying a significant amount of Jaegers in battle. It glows red, unlike other kaijus, and is really aggressive, like a tiger. It's also one of the most powerful kaijus in the series. When it stands, it can easily reach a height of 100 meters. Ripper. Rippers are quadrupeds and resemble dogs in their outward appearance. The kaiju are deep blue with gray pigment on their neck, maw, and hind limbs. They have 6 eyes, 3 on each side, pointed ear-like structures on their heads, a long tail. Their bioluminescent blood is visible through exposed veins on their skin and through the eyes and mouth. Rippers are scavengers, feeding off whatever lives in their territory. Communal animals, they hunt in packs or pairs and working in coordinated patterns to corner and kill their prey. The Rippers also appear able to cooperate with humans. Long and thin, the Rippers can leap and run great distances, making escape difficult for their targets. Apex. This kaiju shows allegiance to none. Like the other drone Jaegers, Apex is biomechanical in its design, using the blood of the kaiju and a secondary brain built within a quantum data core. While its kaiju nature was initially concealed within the structure of a Jaeger, the activation of its secondary brain forces its organic nature outside its chassis. It can create breaches independent of the precursors and form neural bridges with living organisms. Unique to the drone Jaegers, Apex is sentient and can act outside the parameters of the hive mind with the precursors. On its own, Apex uses the isolated environment of Australia as a personal hunting ground, feeding off other kaiju it kills. Apex is hostile towards any and all life it considers a threat to its existence, but will cooperate with others if it chooses to. The Kaiju eel. The Kaiju eel is a quadrupedal and bears a crest of bone running the length of its back. Similar to its namesake, the Kaiju eel is array-finned. 2 holes exist on the underside of its head which are used to expel fluid. It hunts primarily in the water, however, can still fight well on land. The Kaiju eel uses its sense of smell to detect life forms in its territory. It has the ability to reproduce, laying eggs which it buries near its hunting grounds. The eggs it lays, however, are highly dangerous as a result of Kaiju's natural toxicity, its yolks able to burn straight through a human jaw. Boy. Kaiju boy, also known as boy, is a human-kaiju hybrid created by the precursors. Discovered in the basement of a recruitment center for the Pan-Pacific Defense Corps, he's saved by siblings Taylor and Hayley Travis. Forming a bond with the siblings, he accompanies them on their journey to find their parents. In his human form, he possesses superhuman strength and is strong enough to shatter reinforced glass or halt the single fist of a Kaiju Jaeger hybrid, despite his size. His skin cannot be pierced by ordinary weaponry like firearms. The boy appears to sustain himself from eating wildlife. He doesn't appear to be able to speak, but can understand what's being said to him. In his Kaiju form, the boy's skin is tough and craggy, lined with the bioluminescent glow of his blood. His strength increases considerably, and he's strong enough to take on the likes of the Category 4 Kaiju. We also got to see Slattern, Leatherback, and Mutavore as dead Kaiju in the series. Well, that's it for today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Discover for more videos.